Hello, I'm Mahesh Sundar and I'm a part of Team Plus Ultra. For our project Bloons TD, I worked on the balloon avatar and balloon movement. So the first user story for balloon avatar is one avatar exists that can represent all desired balloon types. So over here I have a prefab for the balloon avatar which can basically represent all the balloon types. The next user story is each balloon type has different stats including health, damage to player, and speed. So over here we have three different stats in the script that represent the balloon's health, balloon's damage, and balloon speed. So if I go into the game, you can see that this balloon has 3 health, 5 damage to the user, and a speed of 1. The next user story is balloon avatars each track their own health and can take damage when hit by attacks from towers. So as you can see over here, as the balloon moves towards the tower, the balloon's health starts reducing from 3 all the way to 0. The next user story is balloon avatars display a different color based on the amount of health the balloon has. So as the balloon takes damage, its health represents what color it is. So if it has 3 health, it's green, 2 health, it's blue, and 1 health, it's red, as you can see right over here. The next user story is balloon avatar color changes if its health is decreased below a certain threshold. So basically what I've just shown over here, where the balloon changes its color if its health is changed. Onto the balloon movement. The first user story is the balloon moves through the track from the spawn point to the end. So basically right now we have the balloon moving from the spawn point all the way towards a waypoint set over here. The next user story is the balloon can be slowed temporarily by effects from towers, stopping completely for a few seconds before returning to regular speed. So right now we have the balloon being affected by the freeze tower over here, where its speed reduces by 1, so from 2 to 1, and since it keeps getting affected by the tower, its speed stays at 1 until it reaches away from the range of the tower. The balloon movement speed is defined by that balloon avatar speed stat. Increasing the stat causes a corresponding speed increase in the balloon, and likewise for decreasing the stat. So if I decide to increase the balloon speed in the expector, the balloon speed increases, and if I decide to decrease the speed on the inspector, the balloon speed decreases, or right now it goes backwards. And that's about it.
Hi, my name is Nicholas Waddell, and I am part of Team Plus Ultra, and I want to go over what I personally completed for this week in regards to our team project. Most of my tasks included the basic gameplay loop and the pause and unpause features, so those were my main focuses for this milestone. The user story for basic gameplay loop. As the player, I would like the ability to begin the game, pause the game, restart the game, or quit the game. And when we open up our Bloons game, hit play and it'll load into the main menu here where we have our play option to begin the game. The credits option was just shows our team members who made up the team. Back button to go back to the main game, and then quit application I will show in a second. That basically just closes out the game in its entirety. So if we hit play, we'll start the game, and if I press the escape key, it will pause, and I can toggle that on and off. It'll pause and unpause. This right here is the pause menu. We do have continue, which will also unpause the game, and then main menu, which will loop us back to the beginning of the game. So if we wanted to restart the level, we have that option. And here I can show you the quit option, and pressing the quit button will just completely close out the application. Doesn't matter if you hit the quit on the pause menu or go back to the main menu and press quit. It will close the application either way. Just like that.
My name is Gary Smith, and for this sprint, I was responsible for creating a tower avatar whose user story is, as a tower, I want to exist in the world and take up space so that other towers cannot be placed on top of me, and so I can take on different configurations based on the type of tower created. I was also tasked with the tower attack story, and that is, as a tower, I want to automatically attack nearby enemies based on the stats and abilities I am assigned and as often as I am allowed. So this is our Bloons Tower Defense metrics scene here, and we have all 5 different types of towers that I've created. I've done the stats by scriptable objects that you can see here. So we've got the bomb tower's stats and projectile type. And if we go back, then we have the dart tower, ice tower, super tower, and tack tower. And it has the descriptions that would be seen in the UI. It has the costs for the upgrades and the types of upgrades as well, and the base tower cost. Now for subtasks, we have the tower itself, and I've got a base tower that we can look at here. This is the prefab that all the others are built off of. And we've got its tower script, its stat container, and the radius prefab. Now the radius prefab we'll get to in a minute, but as you can see here in this tower, they have a box collider, and that is used so that they can take up space in the world and that the UI can check to see if there are any other towers present when the player tries to stick a tower in a certain location. And the towers utilize these stats, so that covers their different configurations. They also display their attack range and hide their attack range depending on their selection state. And we'll look at that here in play mode. So you can see there's a tower already attacking that balloon there. And we'll go ahead and select one of these towers, and that displays its attack range, and it hides its attack range when it is deselected. And as you can see as well, the tower attack story also is completed. Towers automatically attack nearby enemies because this is a enemy right here. The tower attacks can also slow the balloons. Let's move this tower here, that is our ice tower, into position, and it will attack that balloon that is in radius and drop the speed value temporarily, and that is passed over to the balloon enemy. And the towers attack by spawning different projectile types based on the type of balloon. So we see the frost one, and we've got the super monkey over here that shoots tacks, the dart and bomb towers as well, and we'll move a regular tack tower over here so you can see the difference in projectiles. You can see it spawns 8 different projectiles and shoots them out as well. And the other part of that story is the projectiles despawn after traveling a set distance, and that distance is based on this range value. Towers can also be upgraded. In the stats, they will charge the player that amount and then either go faster attack speed or increase that range. That functionality, however, is accessed via the UI, and that functionality does not exist yet because the UI is not complete. And that was my portion for week 1.
Hello, I am Jason Velez, and I'm going to show you what I have been doing on this project. My tasks were to basically bring the visuals to the game. Basically, I had to add the balloons, how many balloons are on the board. It's a work in progress. The towers also, it's a work in progress. There is also a lives under here, but it's not going to show until you go into the game because that's how I scripted it to show as a view. As you can see in my script, this is the script that I'm using for the for the tracker. So my lives will show up on the board up top, and for the balloon, I tagged it so anything that goes into my trigger, my destroy trigger, it's only the balloons. Nothing else can go through it. Well, anything can go through it, but it won't affect the gameplay. It won't take away health. It won't take anything away unless you are tagged with balloons. It destroys it on contact, and I will present to you right now. For the sake of this presentation, I took off the mesh renderer to show you exactly where my trigger is at. This is my trigger, and we're going to keep it close to the ball while we present it. So I'm going to move it out of the way so you can see that the balloon will just pass right by it and nothing affects it. You see, the towers are still attacking the balloon and nothing's affecting it. But, see, I still have 5 lives. Now when I move the collider over to the balloon, it's going to destroy it and also take away a life, which is what it's supposed to do at the end of the maze up here. So we're going to try this now. And it worked. We now have 4 lives instead of 5, and towers don't detect no more balloons, and that's what I've been working on for this prototype.
My name is Matt Doro, and this is what I have done for the game. I validated that the main camera is in fact showing the whole game, and I have added this game object with my tower placement script. And as you can see, I have added the ice tower as a placeable object. Pressing A is to create the object, and then left click is to place the object. I will demonstrate. So this is the game. I'm pressing A. There is the tower. I am moving around with the mouse. Left click places the object, and it should work.